straight as possible, the best you can. And what we're going to do is, I just have this here, so I'll set this one up on top of this. I'll just visualize it from the side that everything looks okay. Got distance here. Then I'll come in and I'll tack one end. I'll raise my shield, and I'll make sure that my other end didn't move before I tack that. Sometimes it's a matter of even taking and pushing back down on it with a piece of steel, or maybe even your MIG pliers, to take and tack the other end. We want good solid tacks on this plate here. And then we can take it to get the step that we're working on, then we can add another one right here. But you'll notice that it's going to move fairly easy on this plate here. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just take it, once I have it positioned, I'll just hold it down with my glove, make sure I'm good, even with me trying to. So I'll hold it down with my glove, and I'll come in here, and I will even take and put my nozzle. You don't have to read, I'm not going to strike an arc. I'm going to take and put my nozzle even on the plate, and I'll have that wire aimed right at that center of that joint. So when I pull my trigger, I don't have to sort of try to hunt for it. But you know, I'm sort of off to the side, the wire sticking out a little bit. I pull the trigger, and what I listen for? For the pop and then the buzz. Once you get that buzz on there, then you're tied in to the top and the bottom plate. Once that's good, then you can take and come over and tack the other end. Same thing as you go on. You can just take and hold them down. This one will be in place. And when you put your next one on there, you know, you can take and hold that down. These will be tacked, so they won't be moving. You can have this one down. You can tack the end. But always check it and make sure. No, I didn't put that one on there. I just used that. Yeah, I just put this one on there to set up this first one. And then after that, you know, I don't want to keep stacking these up. So once I have this together and held in place, and the next one when I put on there, I can just hold it with, you know, my glove. And it's not going to get hot enough. It's not going to take and harm anything. And what we're going to do is we're going to end up with a set of steps like what we're looking at right here. What Zach did is Zach tacked one side, he flipped it over, and he tacked the other. What I normally do when I do these, I'll tack both ends, I'll flip it over, and I'll start my welds on this side. But what I can come on the one end, I can just put a tack right here to hold it in place, and then when I start my weld over here, I don't have to worry about tying into that big tack. I can start my weld here, into that tack, and I can run from, I won't have a tack there, but I can start the edge of the plate and right to the tack. Anytime you get these little BBs and burrs and stuff, you know, get a chip and hammer or something, knock that off, clean it up. So we're going to end up with something like what we're looking at right here. We're going to get the feel of running this type of joint, the lap joint, fillet weld. Then when we start moving on to the next joint, we're going to do some T-welds. And I know some people started trying to practice on those themselves and see what they could take and do. Wasted a little bit of material. And the idea is conserving material to get us the best we can out of it. And you know, it's no problem or anything. You know, you're just trying things out on your own, see where you're at. But now it's time to really buckle down. Let me give you a demonstration and practice on the proper techniques. So when we do our T-fillet weld, I'll take and put one on one side, and then I'm going to take and try to get something set up on the inside the station in here. So then when we do, we'll have this T-weld that'll be flipped up. It'll be like this, and then we can have another one that we can put up here. So now we have we have 3 pieces of steel, and we can make 4 welds. And then we can also, as we move on, you know, we can keep stacking these. You know, we can put a series of these together to where we can get the most weld on the materials that we have. So once we go through that, the lap joint, the T-fillet, then we're going to do a thing called an outside corner. we're going to take and put the pieces of our steel together to where you're going to see that little groove right there that you can fill up. If you're building a tank or a box or something, you don't want to take and butt your corners like this and to try to weld that seam. This way you have something to follow, you have a lot of metal in it, and it's going to penetrate through that inside. You'll see that seam coming through that inside. That way you'll have a good leak-proof, tight container that is very strong. And then this way, if you go to outside corners, even if you're building a box, which we were talking about earlier, oh, there you are, you're over there hiding. Christine was going to take and try to make like a little box or something. Now, I just held her up on it a little bit because, you know, with this right here, once we get these tacked together, we can make like it's going to be like a piece of square tube. We can put all these pieces together, and if you go with the outside corners, you're going to have everything symmetrical as you go around. Because if you try to just do a corner joint lap like this, then you try to get the other place, you're going to have a big overhang on one side. So it's not going to take and match up real good. So, with that being said, we already have this one tacked together. I'll go ahead and do a demo on this one here for a tack. I want to try to get through this today, so come Tuesday when we come in, better change these out. Tuesday when we come in, you know, we'll already have this out of the way. So give you a little bit of a break from just running beads and beads like we have earlier. And everybody has been doing, you know, decent on that. For coming in, for no experience. Some of the guys did have a little bit of experience. That helped out, you know, a lot. But for some individuals that had no experience at all, not even familiar with welding, especially the MIG process, you're coming along really good. And I figure we're just, you know, the first week of this out of 8 weeks. So if we get this down, perfect it really good, we'll towards the end, once we get any testing that we have to do out of the way, we'll come back if have something to scrap. You want maybe put some things together, maybe a little project or something that you want to take and do. Then we'll save that for that time. Let's not do it now because we need all the time that we can to practice this process. And another thing, I've talked to Star about taking a class picture. I want to make sure it's, we'll probably do it on a Saturday something when everybody's here. I'll give advance notice. I want a nice good class picture. I'm going to take and send and I'll show the booklet up there, the World of Welding through the Hobart Welding Institute, where a lot of the high school programs and different, maybe, but I've only seen a few adult programs in there, mostly geared out of high school, but I want to take and really highlight what we're doing here in this program. So I want a nice group picture. We can send it in. It'll be in the World of Welding magazine, and I'll show you how to get signed up for that. It's a free magazine. They'll send it out every quarter, and hopefully that by the time you get signed up for it, we get the process done, the picture can be in there. Not only along with that, I'm going to take and contact the Detroit section of the American Welding Society, and I'm going to have an article put in that newsletter, the monthly newsletter that comes out, a picture of the program, what we're doing, and seek any employers out there that are looking for skilled welders for the program that we're doing here. So we've got some things out there, get us a little bit of highlight on it, get some exposure here in Detroit, and this newsletter goes out to a lot of the manufacturers that are members of the American Welding Society. And we can really get some, good, a little bit of publicity on that, and hopefully it could lead to some other job contacts. Sometimes it's good to have them knocking on your door instead of you knocking on theirs. Sound right? But once you get the skill and development, that will happen. And anyway, are we set on this machine? We've got everything going. We've been using it. I bumped it up to about 20 volts. We're on about number 4 on the wire speed. So we want to be up roughly around this says our settings look between 18 to 19. This right here, we're joining some more materials together. I'd like to go a little bit hotter. a little bit more on the wire speed, because now I had everybody that when they started, they were going too fast. So I had you to slow down. So some slow, and I said, when they were going too fast, I said, well, you know, slow down. Some slowed down too much. And then we tried to find that happy medium. Well, now when we go to these joint designs, what are we going to have to do? We got to revert back to our slow down process. And you already know how to do that. So just the idea of watching your weld puddle. So with this here, I would take it, set my pieces up, look at it fairly close, size, it looks pretty good. We know that that's a 2-inch plate, so we want about a 1-inch overhang on each side. So I'm going to get over here and start ready. Well, I'm going to get me a little wire out here so I can really see it.
Shoot down.
Oh, 1 second. Everybody here is lucky. Their shills that they automatically darken. Mine, I have to go inside and push a little button to activate it. So if I would have went to strike an arc, mine, I would have had to stop and flip my switch. Once I'm welding, it stays good for a while, but if I set it down, it automatically shuts off. So I just remembered that. If not, I would end up flashing in my